Thank you so much for choosing RTV. Now, top of our edition, President Paul Kagame and the First Lady of Rwanda, Her Excellency Jeannette Kagame, attended the event to launch a breast cancer awareness campaign. Now, the Ministry of Health recommends that women and men between the ages of 20 and 30 must get tested for breast cancer because testing makes it easy for you to get full recovery. Nuriath Agasaro starts us off. As our team gets a hold of that story, we still have more coming up now. Foreigners who attended various conferences that have been taking place here in Rwanda, including the Youth Connect Africa Summit and the Inter-Parliamentary Union, say that the country is a good place to visit because it is safe and it is clean. Take a look.
The foreigners includes parliamentarians who participated in the Inter-Parliamentary Union, which was recently concluded. They point out that they stayed behind to visit some places and to buy presents for their families. They also note that the cleanliness and safety of Kigali made them feel welcomed and that they look forward to come back with their families.
I like Kigali because it's too clean list and it's safety, too many shops here and many restaurants. So I'm looking to come back again with family here next summer to going to Gorilla Garden and also going to Safari. We're coming here to this traditional maybe market to taking something from here, from Kigali to Bahrain, to remember Kigali and Rwanda.
We visited Kigali to attend the IPU 145. We attended and we saw Kigali, very nice city, clean city. The people, they are very nice. We are so happy to be here. Services, it's excellent service, yes. Everything is good and fine. And the people, they are so nice.
Various young people who attended the Youth Connect Summit and who came in Rwanda for the very first time say they are content to be in Kigali as it is the cleanest city in Africa.
Yeah, I learned one statement from the President of the Republic of Rwanda, His Excellency Mr. Paul Kagame, who said that Africa is not a continent of problem. Yes, we have our own problems like other continents, but we have to solve it. But we should not put in our mind that we are a continent of problem because every continent has their own problems. So this makes us like youth to think how now to solve the problem that we are having through innovation.
Rwanda is a beautiful place. We are here for delegate of Cape Verde for the Youth Connect Africa. We buy to this T-shirt and to leave to Cape Verde. There are some things to buy now, and it's very cool to hear. Okay.
Such conferences that bring together people from all over the world are beneficial to Rwandans, especially to those who sell made in Rwanda products, mainly arts and crafts objects. We became friends. They usually come and buy some stuff, and because of the relationship formed, they promise to come back. They are attracted by made in Rwanda products such as dresses, interior decorations, baskets and bags. The Youth Connect Summit of this year was attended by about 9,000 young people, while the IPU was attended by members of various parliaments around the world. Some of those who attended these conferences already returned to their countries, but others stayed behind to visit various attractions, such as parks, especially those who wanted to visit gorillas. Olive Nete, RTV News.
Thank you, Olive. Now, President Kagame and the First Lady of Rwanda, Her Excellency Jeannette Kagame, attended the event to launch a breast cancer awareness campaign. The Ministry of Health recommends that men and women who are between the ages of 20 and 30 must get tested for breast cancer because testing early increases the chances of recovery. Now, our team has this story with Nuriath Agasaro.
This campaign was marked the President of the Republic, His Excellency Paul Kagame, and the First Lady of Rwanda, Her Excellency Jeannette Kagame, participating in a car-free day physical fitness activity. They were joined by other leaders including General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, who is on a visit to Rwanda. Some of the participants, including breast cancer survivors, appreciate the government's ongoing efforts to combat and treat disease. In 2016, I underwent cancer surgery and had my breast removed. I was admitted to the hospital and given medication. Many people believe that cancer was incurable, but it can be cured if diagnosed early and treated according to the doctor's recommendations. I did like to thank Rwanda's government for assisting us in finding Butaro hospitals. It is a miracle to see Rwanda Cancer Center now. We have a cancer hospital of excellence, and Rwandans do not need to travel abroad because we have more than 12 oncologists. We didn't have any in 2007, so it's a miracle. I appreciate Rwanda's government and I appreciate everyone. I appreciate. First, I thank God. Secondly, the Republic of Rwanda. And thirdly, the Republic of Rwanda for the way it cares for ordinary citizens like me. I was telling a colleague that if I hadn't had me too well, I wouldn't have been able to get treatment. I wouldn't have been able to go to Faisal Hospital, but there was no way I wouldn't have been able to go to Miduha Hospital. The Minister of Health, Dr. Daniel Ngamije, advises people to get tested as soon as possible because waiting can make treatment more challenging.
Some of the symptoms of the breast cancer are easy to recognize and self-examine if you have the symptoms. The first thing is that the breast changes color and the skin looks pale. The nipple shrinks instead of standing, or you see a discharge that may be like mucus or blood. Then you will feel a small lump. If it starts in the breast, you will feel like the lump in the armpit. These are the signs that you should know to recognize that you have a problem in your breast. What we should encourage women is that at least once a month, you go in front of your mirror and palpate your breast, and then see if there is anything unusual in your breast, and if there is no lump in your armpit. Then check the skin. If there is no change, and compare it to the other breast. Then if you see any change, go to the doctor and examine to see if you have a cancer and know what stage it is, and even know how it can be treated, because we have 100% of the ability to treat breast cancer, whether it's giving medicine, whether it's surgery, whether it's chemotherapy. We have everything in the country. At least 30 and above should be examined at least once a month.
Those who participated in the Car-Free Day activities learned important lessons about the disease, as they encouraged us and told us that we must be tested every month. So it is my responsibility to check myself every month to see if anything is wrong with my breast. It makes us take measures to do sports properly because they explain to us that doing sports boosts our immune system, which will make us fight against the breast cancer. The cancer awareness campaign launched this week will last for a month. Breast cancer is one of the leading causes of death in the world. In 2020, it killed 2.3 million women. In Rwanda in the year 2020, the number of people diagnosed with breast cancer reached 650. According to the Ministry of Health, 600 of them have died. 50% were diagnosed late. The Ministry of Health also says that among the patients are men between the ages of 20 and 30 who diagnosed with this cancer, which is why men in that age group are encouraged to go for checkup whenever they notice changes to their breast. Nuriat Agasaru, RTV News.
Thank you, Nuriat, for that insightful report. When detected early, breast cancer can be curable. It is important to get tested. Now, moving on Sunday, the Secretary General, of the Inter-Parliamentary Union, Martin Chungo, visited Kigali Genocide Memorial Center at Gisozi, where he urged nations to prevent atrocities similar to the genocide against the Tutsi that took place here in Rwanda. Adam Squizera now reports.
The Secretary General of the Inter-Parliamentary Union, Martin Chukong, noted that what he saw made him sad and gave him the task to mobilize the world against hate and prevent genocide to happen again after learning the history related to before, during, and after the genocide against the Tutsi how it was stopped, and how Rwandans have been dealing with its consequences.
This is my first visit to this memorial, and I must say that I feel really humbled. I feel a bit humiliated by the fact that the international community, the rest of the world, failed this country in their hour of need. And I come away from this visit with that conviction that we need to do more as the international community so that what happened in your country in 1994 should never reoccur in Rwanda as well as anywhere else in the world.
Honorable Nyirasafari Esperance, Rwanda's Senate Vice President, emphasized that understanding Rwanda's history about the genocide against the Tutsi enables members of parliament throughout the globe to support Rwanda in prosecuting the genocide perpetrators.
It will facilitate us to explain to them about the history so that they will help us to establish justice by prosecuting the perpetrators, as some even decided to ask their nations why those committed genocide are not prosecuted.
Martin Chukong expressed his condolences to the Rwandan society in the memorial book. He also appreciated them for their efforts to recover from its impacts of the genocide against the Tutsi, as he also expressed his determination to ensure that genocide should never happen again in the world. Adams Kwizera, RTV News.
Rwanda's Minister of State in charge of social affairs at the Ministry of Local Government, Assumpta Ingabire, has emphasized the need for collaboration and teamwork among leaders, saying that it is more effective than working independently. The Rwanda Governance Scorecard shows that among the 8 pillars that are monitored, service delivery has fallen by 4.1%, as the last figures were at the rate of 81.8%, and now it stands at the rate of 77.6%. With over 65% of Africa's population below the age of 35, now more than ever, the continent must focus on connecting its youth for collective socio-economic transformation. I spoke to Honorable Isaac Endo, the Deputy Minister for Youth and Development, and Honorable Peter Bema, the Deputy Minister for TVET at the Ministry of Youth for Sports for the Republic of Liberia, who are here in Rwanda for the latest edition of Youth Connect Africa Summit, a platform bringing together decision makers and youth from across the continent. I began by asking them the message they will be taking back home that they derived from their experience here in Rwanda. Take a look.
Opportunity to be back here. I was here sometime in 2019. I want to be brief because this is evidence by fact. One, going back to Liberia, I'm going with this reinforced mind that the young people of Africa can absolutely be the front drivers of their own destiny, simply because you give them small opportunities, they shine the brightest. It's just a matter of giving them that platform and they will do great.
Well, the youth of Africa are ready to take leadership into their own hands. All they need, as my colleague said, is that little push. The young people have the knowledge, they have the skills, then all they need is the little resources, the little recommendation, any little thing that can be done to ensure that one young man is given a push to get to the destiny that they want to get to. And I think that is very important. It's an important message coming out of this Youth Connect Summit, especially something espoused by the President of Rwanda and it reinforced by the Vice President of Kenya.
What do you think should be done different the next time we have this platform?
Well, a lot has happened throughout Youth Connect, and what can be done differently is by making sure that young people throughout the continent take Youth Connect as their own own Youth Connect, because it is the only platform throughout Africa that young people can use to connect with one another, to connect with policymakers, to connect with resources and leaders across the continent. So it's important that young people own this platform to ensure that they gravitate towards the kind of leadership that they're aspiring for. So we like to encourage young people that as we go home and as we have come out of this summit, we make use of some of these important lessons that we have learned and localize them in our respective countries for the next Youth Connect Summit that is going to be happening in Kenya.
Okay, so one of the ways that young people can actually be able to take all that he said and manifest it is if they're in places of decision making. Now, there's been a double-edged sword to this conversation. The leaders saying young people need to come on the table, they need to take ownership, they need to be part of the conversation, and young people saying you need to let us into the rooms, we need to be part of decision-making spaces. It seems like both sides are pointing the finger, but how do we ensure we arrive at that destination?
Well, thank you. And this is where my mind went directly on the deputy president of Kenya, who during his speech said, listen, don't let our generation keep telling you that you are the future leaders. You should be young leaders. If that notion first gets thrown out, that young people are future leaders, but are current young leaders, they will be in a better position to go. And to answer your question directly, the older folks are the one ahead and the younger people coming just from the back, like me. I do believe both fingers being pointed got some truth and some no truth in it. First off, the opportunities and the platform need to be created for these young people to actually step their foot into. And I also do believe as well, if young people are given the opportunity to come on, they need to shine. Of course, we have had evidence of that, but more needs to be done. Like in my country, Liberia, for instance, for the first time, I would say, countless number of young people today occupy top government position. That in itself puts young people on the path to being real ready for future challenges.
You both embrace sports as a tool. This is what you interact with in your work. Honorable, looking at the continent, the history of this continent, external forces have been witnessed to divide us. And sports is one of the tools that globally, the forces that can unify. How can we do that to use it to bring this continent together? Because indeed, we can achieve so much as one.
Well, thank you so much. My own country's president is an icon from the football world. He's been the only person to have won the Ballon d'Or from Africa. And during the time of our country's warring time, tremendous effort from him has been placed to ensure Liberia becomes a free country. Today, we are reaping that. That was only made possible because of the fame he's gathered from the sporting world. So yes, I agree with you. Football, soccer, any other sports today have become this unifying force that we all need to put more of our efforts behind now. One of the things that we could do, for instance, that we are doing in our country, is to start up from the grassroots level to ensure younger folks who are coming from the bottom get attached to that. Because with that, many of them can go into many other places and ensure they use their fame they who gather sometime in the future for good and transformative actions.
Appreciate your company. I am Isabel Masozera, and on behalf of the entire news team here at RTV, thanks for watching and take care.